I think the first thing to say in response to that question is that God does not need chance to provide openings in the world for God to act. In fact, God doesn't need openings in the world to act, because as creator of the world, God is already engaged in the most intimate possible way with the world's history from moment to moment. So there is no event in the world's history that doesn't involve the divine agency in sustaining the being of finite things, of creatures, and supporting them as they carry on their activity. So God is always engaged in the world. Secondly, God can act and does act by means of the causal activity of created things. So the structures of nature described by the natural sciences can be understood as the instruments through which, the means by which God carries out God's intentions in the world. But if it happens that the world God has made, that God has chosen to make a world that includes causal gaps, ontological gaps, discontinuities in the order of causation, then it's worth asking the question about God's relation to those events, those transitions. Thinking about God's relation to them as creator, and also thinking about how God might be understood to act by means of those openings in nature to affect the course of events in the world. So if the world turns out to include elements of underdetermined chance, then it's at least possible that God might act by means of those openings to shape the course of events. A world of that sort would include natural law and flexibility. It would be an interesting combination of both, so that you have not mere arbitrary chance, but you have chance that is structured in a lawful way and gives rise both to intelligible structure in the world and to the possibility of new developments that are not simply written into the structure of the world from the very beginning. So I think the answer to that question is yes, God might create the sort of world through which God could act through moments, points of underdetermination in the structures of nature.